Hi Ajay, thank you for getting some extra time on your courses. I think you've just bought an extension, that's fantastic. So let's have a look at your first essays and see what we can do. So doing an enjoyable activity with a child can develop better skills and more creativity than reading. To what extent do you agree? Use reasons and specific examples to explain. Okay, let's have a look. So I'm not sure if you watch Ben's little videos or listen to Ben's videos, sorry, about these essays. It's worth doing that because that just gives you an idea about the sort of style that we want, because just looking through this quickly, I can see the word kids a lot. So this is too informal for IELTS. So it's very important to keep this level formal. I'll send you a little video about that as well. So playing with kids creates a bond between parent and the child. This makes them happy and it could be a fun-filled activity. I strongly believe that spending quality time with children increases their cognitive skills and enlarges their ability to imagine. Okay, quite a few little grammar issues here. So you could have experts agree that, or there is no doubt that. You could start with something stronger here. Playing with children creates a bond between parent and child, either the parent and the child or parent and child, not sort of half each. Because, link this together, this makes them happy and it could be a fun-filled activity. You heard me change that, so I'm using could as in a suggestion. It could be a fun-filled activity. I strongly believe that, no comma there. Spending quality time with children increases their cognitive skill and usually, so we have to use these little words in large Is, you need an S there, their ability to imagine. So these little words like usually and could are really important in academic style. Okay, so that's your intro. First body paragraph, don't say I anymore. You've given me your opinion here. You're going to give me your opinion again here. Now, it's not you. Now this is academic writing, not you. Firstly, being with young ones and taking part in their activities could help them build self-confidence and also could, so you want to be using these could, might, may, really important, improve their capabilities to understand and solve problems, not other problems, just problems. You could put in an adjective here, challenging problems, difficult problems. I mean, remember, you need to be showing vocab. This is a language exam, so you want to be showing as much vocab all the way as you can. For example, recent studies state, so studies, state, verb, plural verb, that young ones, again, you don't need that, young ones are more comfortable when they're accompanied with their parents and less likely to be cranky. Cranky, too informal. Now, you say more comfortable, but more comfortable doing what when accompanied by their parents? So I'm just going to sort of question that because, I mean, comfortable doing sport, comfortable doing, like, going to the park. You need to be more specific about what these activities are. So you could have here such as playing sport. So give an example here of what you mean. So this helps you on the task achievement, like give a full answer. So that's why I'm questioning this, because I don't understand this coherence compared to that. Prefer to be with their family when engaged in activities. Also, reading can be a boring task for many kids, mainly it's done in a room. Okay, that's important. That's a very important point. So I would almost start the next paragraph with that. I'd develop this more. And I'd say, many parents argue that. So start with something strong. Reading books could be a boring task for many children as it's done inside a room alone and there's less scope to make it interesting. Okay. Therefore, or however, because now I'm sort of changing back to my argument about doing activities. However, so I would take out that, there's a positive impact on developing creative skills by encouraging young ones to explore teamwork, something like that. Or, yeah, teamwork and, I mean, again, I'm coming back to sport, but that you could have sporting activities. You could have all sorts of things here. This is largely because in doing these activities, they're not restricted and have a larger boundary to explore. So you're just talking about really kind of being with a parent. We need to really get into this idea of doing an activity with a parent. So I kind of see what you mean, but I think you need to expand this because we really need to say, what activities do you mean? So you need to be more specific. And that's why I'm just trying to put in this thing about being teamwork. But with teamwork, they'd be with their peer group rather than their parents. But do you see how it's difficult as an examiner reading this? You kind of need to be more specific, more precise in your argument. The children develop better creative thinking when they're partnered with elders. Yes, but I think you've just missed this key word, doing an activity with a child. So you could think of, as I said, sport or doing art or doing music lessons, that kind of thing. So you've got some nice ideas here. Watch out for the little grammar mistakes, but I think just make really sure that you're on the right topic. Okay, Ben will talk to you about this when we look at planning. So some people think schools have to be more entertaining. Others think their sole purpose is to educate. Which do you agree with? So you've got two possible sort of sides of the argument. Okay, use reasons. A few folks believe that education institutes should give more focus on teaching subjects that are of great interest and enjoyable, whereas the rest have the view the existence of schools is only to provide education. I believe that they have to be more flexible. Okay, so I wouldn't use the word folk because for me that's too informal. So education or teaching professionals or teachers should give more focus on teaching subjects that are, well, it's not necessarily changing the subjects, it's teaching the subjects in a different way. So just be careful. So here, through methods that are. So I think this is the key point again. So watch out, make sure you really understand that question before you start. The rest, I think you can be more specific here. Yeah, other parents or other experts, other professors, keep the vocabulary connected to the question. The existence of schools is only to provide education. Okay, but what kind of education would you say here? Would you say like a academic education or an exam-oriented education? Nowadays, schools teach. You don't need the present continuous there. This is a common error. Just present simple. Don't overuse this present continuous. Teach various script, that help students to develop cognitive skills. Okay, give me an example. Such as, so you could give me an idea here. Interesting environment, and the students have options to explore their talents in different areas. Okay, and then expand here, allowing them to understand more about the world or understand more about their own skill set. So expand. This is really, really important for task achievement and fully developing your argument. You need to have a recent survey. So now it needs an article from the Education Ministry, capital letter, suggests that schools, no comma, okay, just keep going, that schools that also encourage students to pursue sports as a career are often preferred. Okay, that's a nice example, well done. However, because you're now sort of looking at the other side of the story, over the last decades, many schools, not all, many, have been following a traditional way of teaching. This approach is tried and tested and has been successful in allowing students to access university. So explain where that success is. This is because the main focus behind it is to learn basic skills that are necessary. Okay, good. So you've got the university. Sorry, I missed that. Okay, so that's a nice development there. Well done. For example, chosen by either centre or state government, so they're relevant to the current university courses. Okay, you could say that students in these schools are motivated and focused, or more highly driven, or something like that, to achieve, as they have a clear goal. Something like that, really important. I don't know, you could put that maybe in here, but I think we need a little bit more in each paragraph just to expand it, just to really go for this idea of not just coherence through the paragraph, but developing. I firmly believe schools should include subjects that are fun. Okay, so you see the problem about the subjects or the methodology. This could, so don't forget the could, area of interest, predict that most governments will slowly move away from orthodox systems. Yeah, you could have that in order to provide more variety. I think you have to say why they would do that. Again, just develop this a little bit. Why would they do that? I don't think you can just leave it like that. Okay, so good stuff here. The next modules will really help you develop and really show you what we mean by adding a bit more. But good start. Well done.